Alright, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is How Many Men Are Really Incels? Oh, Jesus, guys. This comes from the channel Gerbert Johnson. Let's go and check this video out immediately. Okay.
Have you ever loved somebody and they broke your heart?
Oh, no, bro. Bro, who cut your hair? My boy.
Millions of people have been asking me, hey Gerbert, why are you always talking about all this incel stuff? What, do you not have any?
Oh.
Here's the thing about this question. It's a very interesting question.
Okay.
In that no one ever seems to ponder the possibility that maybe it's that don't have me. Anyways, I decided to talk to a dating therapist to see if I can find a good match. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm a decently handsome guy. I try to put in effort to my appearance. I work out, whatever. It's just, I don't really know where to start, you know, where to meet girls. I'm just struggling.
Tell me about what kind of girls you're going after. Like, what are you looking for in a woman?
Mixed Asian, half white, half Asian. Big under thighs. Bow! Nice rack. Bing bang. Big. Tall. Like, taller than me, 6 foot tall. 130 plus IQ. 32-inch vertical. No tattoos. Debt free. Virgin. Did I say big? I said big rack, right?
Yeah.
You said big racks, yeah.
You said that.
Yeah, so that's about it.
Women.
Bro. Listen. I've seen a lot of people talk about how there are some women who like they go for the perfect man, right? The Build-A-Bear type of man. They want to build a bear with all the things that are perfect, but that's not how things work, okay? You are literally trying to build a bear woman, okay? You sound as clownish, okay, as they do.
I said big rack, right?
You said big racks, yeah.
You said that.
Yeah, so that's about it.
Women, they date up. So what you have to do is you have to schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. The type of woman that you want has to have either 2 or 3 of these mental disorders. Everyone with auras, they have a roster. And in order to create a roster, you need to pray after mentally disabled.
Bro, get your money back. Whenever you paid this man, take it back.
Women. Let's be real. You're white. You're pasty. You are milk.
Yeah.
You are vanilla. You have 0 flavor. There is 0 seasoning to you. How to manipulate an autistic woman. And
yo,
that's where the dark triad comes in, because the dark triad is quite literally black. No, you're not advanced yet for the dark triad bedroom game. When you meet an autistic woman, and this is obviously going to be after you've black maxed, right?
Yeah.
After I have this course, it's going to tell you everything that you need to know about using the dark triad and also the female triad that I told you about earlier. And on top of that, it's going to teach you all the tricks that you need to take advantage of the schizophrenic. The full course is going to be roughly $998.86. It is a big investment, but I need you to feel that investment so that you can be invested in this course.
Okay.
You know.
You may have seen this general social survey graph from 2018, but you probably...
Guys, hold on. Listen, if you paid your money to get advice from that absolute invalid, okay, get your money back immediately. Don't listen to none of what he just said.
Probably haven't seen the updated version of 2022. The older graph shows that male virginity has supposedly skyrocketed since 2012.
I believe
it. The newer one shows that since then it has plummeted. I, like many other people, even recently, surmised that this was an ongoing trend, only getting worse, especially because it was pre-pandemic. Let's just say the rate of growth was consistent. If we would extend the graph to 2022, the number would be around 38%. But we're coming to find out that maybe it was just a blip. Baldhead. Is this whole idea of an ever-growing incel population, women only wanting to
Engage with jazz.
leaving many men to be virgins, some sort of illusion? A way of chronically online men to project their own failures onto a larger societal problem?
Yeah, that what you just said is it right there. That's it right there. What he just said.
As the saying goes, misery loves company. Is there actually a rising virginity rate? Are more and more men becoming incels? How many incels are there actually? You'll find out in this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Lookofthedead.com for merch. How is it
Bro, what
that
are you?
in
What,
28
wait, bro. What were you just doing?
dead.com for merch?
Okay.
How is it that in 2018 the virginity rate was almost 1/3 of all men, but in 2022 it plummeted? That doesn't even make sense post-COVID. Well, the truth is that these general social study surveys have quite a low sample size. Better data sets with over 10 times the sample size show that virginity is steadily increasing very marginally. It's not nearly as sensational as the 2018 graph that went viral. Also, in this graph, the rates between men and women are quite similar and following the same trend. Now, again, these are all surveys. It's not like scientists are running around gathering the fiber off of these guys' scrotums to actually prove concretely whether or not they're getting laid. Okay, they could be lying. There could be a Hawthorne effect going on here. But it would be dishonest to say that's what's going on with this newer graph when everybody on the internet took the 2018 General Social Survey graph at complete face value. People will, on the internet, latch on to the most sensational, extreme data there is, even though it's far from the best.
Generally.
And then I did the same thing, drawing all these conclusions. And I mean, there is a slight trend going on, but it's not that crazy. In actuality, you might just be a loser. So are incels valid? I guess it depends. If it's just about getting laid, there are a lot of girls nowadays that aren't too picky with that sort of thing.
Right. And that's the part that I find absolutely intriguing. Guys, growing up, I could not imagine, running into some young lady, right? Saying, I've been with 500 guys. I could have, what are you, huh? But in these days, listen, I'm glad I'm married, okay? I'm absolutely glad. I don't got to deal with this craziness, right? But whoa, bro, all right? Seriously, he's right, okay? It's everywhere. But I mean, obviously, still being very selective, right? But just keep this in mind. It's easier. You have more access than you ever had in the history of ever. Okay, specifically if you're one of those individuals who buy off of that site, right? Where you buy images and videos of people, guys, right? If you're one of those, you have access to everything.
They're very loosey-goosey. They've been hopping on Ween like a daily routine long before the day they've turned 18. I suppose you could call them, well, I mean, I'm pretty tolerant. I would call them free, expressive, but I've heard them been referred to as dirty whore. Point is, if you just want to have sex, I really don't think that itself is that hard. I don't find it to be a remarkable feat. I don't think you have to be a particularly impressive guy. I hate to say the cliche thing, but I've seen a lot of conventionally unattractive guys have success with getting laid a lot. They're just outgoing. This whole chat-only thing.
Valid.
It basically all comes from data from online dating, which is a sausage fest that shouldn't be taken seriously. The internet bleeds into real life a little bit, but there are plenty of normal people.
What is that image?
If you look at the data honestly, or you could just go outside and see them. So how many incels are there actually?
That's super valid.
Some people would posit that they don't exist, that any man, if he tries hard enough, can find a partner if he just does the right things, as if humans is completely moral and fair and there's no genetic factors involved. There are some people, some true cells, they're called.
Bro, what are these words? What even is that? But I would like to point out, yeah, I mean, you can. Okay, so I've been a photographer for a little over 2 decades. I can tell you right now, mainly photographing female models. Okay, and so when you would never expect the type of, how do you explain it? Like the boyfriends, like the boyfriends that generally come onto set, right? With them, you will be absolutely surprised. Okay, they generally don't look like what you think they should look like. They look like regular guys. I'm telling you, they look like the most regular, average man that you would be like, bro, how did you pull that? How did you do that? Right? I'm telling you, the overwhelming majority of the men that I see walk on the set with like full blown, like serious 8, 9s, and 10s. Okay, all right. I'm telling you. But all right, stay in the house if you want.
There are some people, some true cells, they're called, in the sort of incel vernacular. Men with autism have a very high chance of being a virgin. I don't think it's
I have Asperger's autism.
really people's place to say
I got 3 kids, bro.
have a very high chance of being a virgin.
Married my wife. My wife is from Spain. I live in Spain half the year. Okay.
I don't think it's really people's place to sit there and gaslight these guys when they're on a fundamentally different social wavelength. So they're valid. Life circumstances do produce genuine incels, but there aren't a lot of them. They're actually relegated to the bottom percentages of men. Not like many people would claim that the bottom 80% of men aren't getting any action whatsoever. Even guys that might consider themselves incels or incel adjacent usually aren't going to be that. I'm not even sure if a lot of self-identified incels are even less attractive than the average guy. There are a select few of true cells, but really for most guys, it is a matter of standards.
Okay.
How low are you willing to go? I can go use these apps or go get drunk enough to be sociable and pork a 4. If you haven't, it might sort of eat away at you. You might think it's way more impactful and better than it actually is.
Okay.
But if you do it, you realize there's nothing there. It's quite pointless and kind of gross. So I'm not technically involuntarily celibate. And despite what the internet would tell you with cherry-picked bad data, most men aren't. But it's not like these goofy internet words actually mean anything anyways. But does this mean that there are no legitimate gripes? There are no good points raised by these guys? Is dating today completely fine and you're just a loser if you have problems with it? I suppose it would be fair to call me an incel because when I look at postmodern dating, when I look at the state of relationships today, I do hate it. I do despise almost everything that I see. I think it's deeply twisted and all up. Allow me to define my parameters for a successful relationship.
Okay.
The longest running study of human happiness is quite thorough. It's been going on for 70-something years, studying the same sample group. Frequently, there are check-ins. They don't just give these people surveys. They do blood work, brain scans, test every measure of their mental and physical health, which are correlated. What did they find, you ask? Well, people with close personal relationships. Now, the original study group is old now. This is almost always supplied by their life partner, their marriage. People with strong, close personal relationships, by every metric, were better off. Physically, mentally, they felt less physical pain. And with their old age, in feeling this physical pain, they felt less demoralized by the pain. Having a strong relationship, especially as you get older, your body gets weaker, it's quite important for your happiness. According to the longest running study of human happiness. So with
Okay.
that being said, a successful relationship is a lifelong bond with children, most likely sanctioned by marriage. So, what are the chances of this relationship happening? For me, for anyone like me. By the way, I use relationship in quotes because that's a new term. It used to just be, oh, there's a girl, we're married. If you think about the term, it's extremely vague. It doesn't actually mean anything. We're in a relationship. And now it's gotten even more vague with a situationship. It doesn't even the relationship is already vague. Now it's a situationship. What the are you even talking about? So how many so-called relationships succeed? Besides all this Chad lookism kind of goofy shit, this is the real black pill. There are two endings to a relationship: breakup and marriage. As high as 85% of dating ends in breakups.
Okay.
85% of people will have gone through a breakup. The average relationship lasts around 2 or 3 years. People will have gone through about 5 relationships before they get married. The marriage rate is just over 30%. Most people are getting married in their late 20s, early 30s. So yeah, the marriage rate is already quite low, but how many marriages themselves are successful? Again, success to me includes children. I'll mention here that less than half of
Bro, are you peeling? Oh my, he's peeling the skin off of the doll, bro.
Zoomer women even want to have children. I'll mention here that less than half of Zoomer women even want to have children. 30% of marriages are childless. Childless marriages are more prone to divorce. Another 20% are only children. I'm including this because growing up as an only child is quite sad usually, and it blows. You've probably heard that the divorce rate is about 55%. It isn't just the divorce rate.
Yeah, I was definitely an only child. Was it interesting? I liked it. I got everything, right? Didn't have to share anything. So I don't think I found it boring. Again, I grew up. I have Asperger's, autism. You think I wanted any type of social interaction actually? No.
And it blows. You've probably heard that the divorce rate is about 55%. It isn't just the divorce rate, but the amount of marriages that arguably should be divorced on account of certain factors. We can't know the exact number of these because it's much more qualitative, but dead bedrooms, they're just staying together for the kids. They don't want to go through the process of being divorced, so that's not very good. I'm not saying don't try. I'm still going to, but it looks pretty grim. You know, dudes obsessing over looks and not being able to get laid is kind of a chronically online diversion. This in itself is mostly driven by social, which is a consequence of a lack of community. And there is a lack of community because there's no family. Family is the prototype for all community. A return to community requires a return to family. A return to family requires a sacrifice in personal action. People always talk about returning to community, wanting that back, but the truth is we have been freed from communal bonds and pursuits. There's a tendency to offload the whole problem into something like places not being walkable, walkability.
Okay.
Well, Tokyo and many parts of Europe are perfectly walkable.
Well played. I like what he's about to say here, because I'm sure he's going to now start to kind of. Let's just go. Let's do it.
The same thing. Our libertine modern utopia walkability. Well, Tokyo and many parts of Europe
Yeah, and they still have issues.
are perfectly walkable, and they're facing the same thing. Our libertine modern utopias want all the benefits of
social
tightly
media.
knit communities while paying none of the costs of individual freedom. It seems to me like there's actually nothing fair or moral about human behavior, and we actually just can't be left to our own devices and expect things to work out. Instead of family formation, we now find a dating scene, which almost inevitably turns into a shit show. A modern date is basically just an interview with a stranger, where you used to be set up in a community
that literally only one person is going to pay for, and then the person that's being paid for is going to do the same thing tomorrow with someone else.
where you already know each other. There's nothing weird about it. I know almost inevitably there are going to be people saying, oh, you're thinking about this too much. I mean, I guess it's possible. I never really wanted to. I wish things would just work out, but the reality is the reality. And also a counterpoint, maybe you're not thinking about it enough. It's actually exactly the problem. There's no foresight. There's no planning ahead. It's all just completely reactive. The way we matchmake in the West now is all short-term, reactive, responding to things, as opposed to long-term planning, which is what it always used to be. Communities, your family, your community actively works planning ahead in matchmaking you. Now you're just on your own. In order to maintain our civilization, high investment parenting, monogamy, and higher birth rates are required. And none of these things are being met.
Not at all.
And
not at all.
For most people, it doesn't even seem like there's an effort for these type of things to be met. So,
specifically in the West, like, we literally, seriously have an issue.
in this way, it is in fact over. Can these things recover? I don't know. Maybe. I'm like 13 years old. I don't have solutions or prescriptions. But, you know, I'm chilling. It'll be worked out. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But yeah, keep on mewing. I'm sure that'll help you, idiot.
What? Keep on doing what? What? What's happening here? What is this? What happened? All right, guys. This last one, I don't know what that is there. It's weird. How many men really are incels? Guys, I think that a lot of the issue is kind of what was happening here in the beginning stages of the video here, talking to a dating coach, right? When you were saying all the things that you specifically wanted in a woman, bro, you have to understand you're none of those things. And absolutely, generally women want to date up, right? They want to marry up. Basically everything that they want on average from a guy is things that they don't have, right? So they want, you know, more, right? The concept of hypergamy, right? I'm just trying to be nice here, guys, but just be fully aware. If it's not working for you in the West, please, I beg of you, just go somewhere else. It's fine. Trust me. Trust me, it's completely fine. Don't give up and be like, listen, I'm just going to be alone. Maybe the issue you're having is the Western society, right? I mean, that could be a thing, right? I can only go back to my own very specific personal experience and tell you that I was with two other women basically seriously before my wife. I would semi-seriously, I'd say. One was 5 years, the other one was 7 years, right? So basically the majority of my existence, I've been with 3 women seriously. Now, my wife, we've been married since 2014, right? So the point that I'm trying to make here is, if it doesn't work, think outside the box, guys, right? And I can tell you right now, my wife and I, we don't argue about anything, right? I've never been more happy in my existence, right? She leaves me alone, right? Peace and quiet, right? It's nice, guys, right? It's really nice. Just keep looking, seriously. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.